falling in love in this world is hard enough.
Okay.
But what would it be like to fall in love in another realm?
Whoa, cool.
Could you imagine what that must look like?
I can't. I don't
What
even know.
dost thou art looketh like, my fair maiden?
God, men were so manly back then, weren't they? Do you have tights on right now, too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm not a very big fantasy role-playing guy.
obviously.
Unless it comes to costumes and large lightsabers. That's a different
Okay.
story. But one of our listeners is really into it, and it actually helped her meet a guy recently. Now, she's asking us for help today. Her name is Leah. Leah, welcome to the show.
Hey, everybody.
Would you call yourself a fair maiden?
Only when I'm trying to be.
Okay. All right.
So tell us about the guy you met. What's his name?
His name's Jonathan.
Okay, and where did you meet Jonathan?
So one of the guys in my D&D group was doing a one-shot, which is basically just like a one-night-only game.
All right.
Okay,
We have to slow way down. So
Okay.
you said D&D, which is Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, it's Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. And I forget, that's not like Magic where you play with cards. Dungeons and Dragons is...
There's
It's like
a
a
board.
game.
There's
It's a board. Okay.
So it's basically like you're playing pretend and there's rules and you roll dice.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Opening
That's-
to Stranger Things. If you like Stranger Things, they play
So
Dungeons
wait,
and Dragons.
one shot. What does that mean?
Is this going to be
Is it tequila?
That's what I thought. I'm like,
play.
maybe I'm into Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and double
I know.
shots?
Maybe 6 shot. I'd be
Yeah.
down for it.
Oh my God, Drunkards and Dragons.
Oh, now we're on.
Here we go.
Talking.
Now you got our language.
Okay.
Now we're into it.
Okay, so basically, usually when you play D&D, it's like Stranger Things. You play over the course of like a long time.
Okay.
But in this game, it's like just one time.
Okay. So it's a quick game. It's a quickie.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And how did you meet this dude? How did you do the quickie with the guy?
He is a friend of one of the other players. So everybody brought like new people to see who enjoyed it. And so Jonathan was playing a character also.
Okay, what character were you?
I am a halfling bard.
A halfling
What?
bard.
You say that very flirty.
I know.
I know what you mean.
Go on.
I'm very excited about my halfling bard. She's very cute. She's little. That's why they call them halflings. And she plays a cello, but it's like bigger than her. So she plays it like a double bass.
Oh.
It's very
Love it.
silly.
I used to be in an orchestra. That's cute.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a halfling bard.
Uh-huh.
And who's
it.
this mystery man that wooed you?
Or not, man.
What's
Is it
his
an ogre
character?
Or a beast?
Right. So he is a human fighter. So he's just like real good at like punching and kicking and shooting arrows.
Boring.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So he's a frat guy.
Yeah. He's going to do D&D, but he's still going to be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
That's
doesn't
what it
wanna
sounds
get,
like.
Fully into it.
And so does the guy have a character name?
Yeah. So I'm Denna and he was Lim.
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 Is that because he's got a big third?
Okay.
No.
Brooke. All
I
right.
mean,
You were just ruining this game for her.
All right.
another
So,
type of D&D.
so how do you guys end up like interacting? How does the bard and the human fighter end up interacting in the game?
Well, basically, like, we're all on the same team. We're all trying to do, like, this magical mission. Like, we were rescuing a dragon from a princess.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
The princess took the dragon hostage? What is happening?
I know.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, we're doing magic, we're punching, we're kicking.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm a very different person when I'm playing D&D.
Mhm.
I tend to be, like, kind of shy and, like, don't overstep my own comfort zone. But, like, that's the nice thing about D&D is, like, you get to kind of try on whatever. So,
Okay.
like, you know, my character, Denna, is, like, bold and brash, and she's all like, hey, stranger.
Oh.
Opposites attract.
Yeah. This is like role playing at this point.
Yeah.
So he starts flirting right back, and so we take, like, a little break to grab our drinks and our refills and whatever. And so we start talking, and I'm like, oh, wait, in real life, you're also a really cool person.
Oh, look at its
Wow.
D&D love.
Cute.
So you guys broke away from the game for a second to just talk normally. Leah and Jonathan, not
Yeah.
the bard and the
Lim.
whatever. Lim.
Yeah.
Right, right, right.
Out of character.
Right, okay.
You're yourself.
And so were you feeling a connection that way?
Yeah, I was. And I think I got some signals that he was too. I mean, after the game, we actually went and we got a beer.
Oh.
Ooh,
So that is
nice.
that's a date.
Yeah.
That is.
So was there any romance when you guys got the drinks?
I mean, I felt something, but I didn't act on it. Like, I really felt like there might have been a moment where, like, maybe a kiss could happen, but I didn't really see anything from him, and I didn't want to, like, overstep.
Oh, you needed to bring out your inner half-wing bard lady.
Yeah, you should have transformed into the bard and kissed him right on the mouth.
Yeah.
Like a naughty little bard does.
Take your cello out.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Yeah, you could. You could.
Well,
Yes, you
maybe
can.
Leah couldn't, but the halfling bard could.
Whip out the board game.
So have you reached out to him?
I texted him to see if he wanted to hang out again. I phrased it so vaguely, of course, but he hasn't really gotten back to me.
Okay.
Maybe you were just too vague then. Maybe that's the thing. He didn't understand you didn't want to LARP. He wanted to actually
It's
hang out.
possible, yeah.
And I don't mean to stereotype, but my guess is with the D&D dudes, like, you need to be pretty upfront with I just don't think they probably pick up on small flirting cues
You're saying they
all
don't
the
expect
time.
women to hit on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be nice.
Okay,
and
Brooke-
that's this big stereotype.
Brooke
I
is
mean,
thinking
maybe-
of like elementary school kids playing D&D. This is just a guy that showed up for a one-off.
I'm not trying to be mean. I'm asking if you think that's the case.
Yeah, no, I definitely don't think that he's like the stereotypes or anything. I think he just seemed like a cool guy.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's find out for sure. We're going to play a song. We'll come back. We'll call Jonathan for you, and we'll attempt to cast a charm spell on him when we do your second date.
We said it wrong,
yeah.
didn't we? I think we said it wrong.
No, I think it really landed.
Oh, okay.
It was perfect.
It was perfect, she says. Okay.
okay.
We're going to do it right after this. Hold on. Just a warning for our halfling bard on the phone. This second date could be a rough one. So you may need to double knot your chastity belt.
Oh,
Or
we're doing that?
maybe release it. I don't know.
wow.
I'm not sure what's going to happen here. What I do know is that one of our listeners, Leah, met a guy named Jonathan while playing Dungeons and Dragons at a friend's house. Jonathan was a newcomer to the group, and they had a little flirtation in the game, which led to the two of them grabbing drinks outside of the game.
Yeah.
Just them.
And she felt a genuine connection. But after that, Jonathan has disappeared, like a mischievous half-elf wizard casting an invisibility spell outside Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Why do you know all this stuff?
I just Googled a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons
Oh, you
stuff.
did? Oh, okay.
But our job
Yeah.
is to get Jonathan back on the phone to explain himself
Yes.
and possibly make a baby with Leah.
Hey.
Why are we doing that? Why are we
What?
going from chastity belts to babies?
I just said possibly.
Is it in between?
That would be a very successful second date if you ask me.
Dude,
No, y'all are scaring me. You better not scare him off.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah, because
Okay.
I'm like, don't
Sorry.
the women in D&D also have some good times? Like,
Well, I don't
we're
know.
either virgins or we're popping out babies. That's terrible.
No, there are no babies in D&D. What's that?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thank you.
Jeff, get
There
with
we
it.
go.
Okay, that's my fault. But
Yeah.
we're just going to call Jonathan and see if he wants to go out on another date. How's that?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
We'll try not to embarrass you too much.
Yeah.
Leah.
I'm going to dial Jonathan's number right now. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, I'm looking for Jonathan.
Yeah, this is Zeke.
Hey, Jonathan. My name's Jeff from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Okay.
What's this about?
We're doing a segment on our show called A Second Date. Basically, that's where if one of our listeners goes out on a date and afterwards, if they're not calling them back, they'll email us to reach out and try and help them figure out the reason why.
Have you heard of this before?
No, I haven't, but that sounds cool. It sounds like very marketable, great idea.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
I like you,
I don't
Jonathan.
know why, but I'm very impressed by you.
Yes.
Or do we just like him because he's complimenting us?
Whatever.
Either way.
We'll take it,
We,
Jonathan.
we don't get very many of those on this show. So back to the second date. Recently, you met a listener of our show who had a great time with you and has been trying to get in touch, but has been having a little bit of difficulty with it. Her name's Leah.
Yeah, that name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember her? You played Dungeons and Dragons with her?
Yep, I do.
Yes, she was a halfling bard, and I guess you were a human fighter, a very sexy one,
Limb.
according to her.
That sounds fitting.
Oh,
Hey,
Now
Okay.
we're complimenting him. I,
I
like
know.
that.
I like where this is going, Jonathan.
God, this relationship is great so far.
I don't know. This D&D stuff really does work. Like
I know.
the libido gets going.
Yeah.
That's
I
so.
guess.
Not over here.
Yeah.
Is it just me?
And I are like, yes.
All right.
So wait.
So the reason that we're doing this whole phone call is because Leah wants to understand why, after you guys had a really nice time together, she's been having such a hard time getting a hold of you because she wants to see you again.
Well, yeah, she's an interesting person. I like Leah. I think that she was nice. She's a little intense, but then again, so is camping.
Camping?
Camping is intense?
It's intense, you guys.
Oh,
Wait, what's camping?
It's a joke.
Inside tents.
Camping, and he's
That is
funny,
the-
too.
Okay.
We play D&D and make jokes.
Dude, he's smart
Separately.
and he's
Yeah.
funny.
But
I
so-
thought it was another D&D thing
Yeah.
you do.
No, I got that one right away.
But what makes you say that Leah's intense? I didn't get that impression from her. Like, she's into the game, obviously. But why do you say intense?
Well, I'm not sure if she was nervous or something like that, but right when we got there, I mean, I think she was still coming off the high of the game, but
Okay.
she started trash talking me a little bit in a way. Like, hey, man, had you not been on my team, I would have owned you. I'd have, like, slept on your corpse. And I was like,
Oh, wow.
Slept on your corpse.
Wow.
That's intense.
Jeez.
Wait, did that make you laugh, though?
well, nervously. So, I
Oh.
mean, apparently she was part of this necro napper group thing. They pull on, like, some sort of, like, slay and sleep, apparently.
Wait,
Wait,
is this
with the
in
words.
D&D or is this necro group outside of D&D?
Like necro.
They would, like, kind of do, like, a slay and sleep. Like, they would just destroy people in the game, and then they would, like, sleep on the corpses and just weird
I
stuff.
still
Wait,
can't
wait,
tell
wait,
if this
wait.
is like
Yeah.
real life slaying people and sleeping on them, or is this like
No, it's
D&D world?
It's in the
It has
game.
to be, or they're murderers.
It's very important to clarify, though, because I'm having a hard time.
Whatever it was just a turnoff.
Oh.
I mean, I like her as a person, and I enjoyed spending time with her, but whatever it was, it just seems to me that she would probably be better off with somebody who's in a D&D as much as she is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
What?
I feel like, because we spoke to her for a little bit, Jonathan, and she sounds like a very nice person to us, and I think she may have just been caught up in the game. You guys had just come from playing.
And she did
Yeah.
describe that her game character, whatever you call it in D&D, is very different than who she is in real life.
That's
she did
true.
say that.
That is true.
Well, I just felt like D&D was her life,
Mm.
and no, I'm not sure if I'm looking for somebody like that.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, I
maybe
get it.
she would say differently.
Maybe she would. Let's find out, because I need to tell you, Jonathan, Leah's on the other line listening, and she wants to talk to you.
Oh.
Careful, she's going to take a nap on you if you
Yeah.
sound too dead.
Leah, are you there?
Oh, I am so embarrassed.
Oh, sweetie, it's okay.
No.
So, Jonathan, Leah's there. She's been listening to this entire conversation.
I think she's bright red.
Yeah, I'm really glad this is radio.
See ya.
Yeah, we don't want to see the corpse that you're sleeping
Oh,
on.
come
now.
on.
Oh.
Oh. Hey, listen, Leah, I'm just telling the truth. I'm not meaning any harm or any foul. But, I mean, hey, if you want to explain your side and just kind of get an understanding from me, like, I would love to hear that.
Oh,
Wow, he is.
that's
Really
reasonable.
reasonable.
I
We
like
need
him.
you on this show.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I got a little too into it. I didn't mean to scare you off like that. I hope that you're not like turned off from D&D also.
Maybe explain the necro napper thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, it's just this really silly thing that like one of the other guys and me in the group thought of in a previous game where it's like, yeah, we slay our enemies and then we're going to like take a relaxing nap.
Oh.
I promise it's funny in a game, but like, yeah, outside
Can
of
I help just a little bit? And I think I can compare this and make this sound a little less weird. In
Uh-oh.
Fortnite, after you kill someone, if you want to be toxic, you can dance over their body.
Oh, that's terrible.
So
too.
I think it's the
Isn't that a
same
kid game?
concept. Yes, it is.
What is happening?
It's like
Yeah, my
showing
little brother
off.
plays
You
that.
get your kill and you're like, haha, I got you. And then you do an emote, is what it's called. So I feel like you're doing the same thing. It's just a lot more dark.
Good news, it's a relaxing nap.
Jonathan,
Ah, there you go, Brooke.
does any of this make you feel a little bit better about Leah?
Partially.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
We're getting somewhere.
That's
inching
better.
the right way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was just skinning things and wearing them was kind of weird, but
What?
I guess it's because I didn't understand it. And if you explain it to me that you're like not this person that goes and does this on a regular basis in real life, then I would probably.
Okay. Leah, can you assure him of that?
yeah, oh my gosh, no, I work at a post office. I don't like dance.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
There's been some incidents at post offices over the years, so.
I don't think they dance at all.
I mean, Jonathan, don't you feel like outside of the D&D world and all the D&D lingo, did you have a fun time with Leah?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's a great
Okay.
answer.
Yeah, and maybe next time when you guys meet up, there can be no D&D involved whatsoever,
Ooh.
so you just get to know the two of you as regular human people.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Leah, do you really like Dungeons and Dragons like a lot?
I mean, yeah. It doesn't mean
Well,
that I like
listen-
have to have it be my whole life.
Well, I like normal Leah when we just kind of sat down and had a good time. So how about I give you a shot where I actually can just sit down with Dungeons and Dragons Leah and just listen and understand how you got started in that.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Wait, are you asking her out? Like, how
No.
about I give you a shot?
No,
like,
what?
that was a little.
I think what he's saying is he already knows he likes normal Leah. He wants to give Dungeons and Dragons Leah another
He has
shot.
to
I
like
don't know.
both of them?
No,
Jonathan,
just-
Jonathan, if I were Leah right now, I'd want to sleep on your corpse
Yeah.
after that line. So,
It was weirdly worded.
It wa- it
Jonathan.
was.
Yeah,
Happening
let's
there.
try it for him.
yeah. So, Jonathan, here's the deal. We would love to send you and Leah, normal Leah, out on a normal date.
Yes.
And we'll pay for it.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Okay, that's
Wow.
a yes.
You agree?
Yeah?
As
That
you
sounds
kind of
good.
said in the game, I accept thy maiden.
Ah,
Hey!
Maybe don't start the game right now.
There's definitely going to be some corpses slept on after this. All right. Well, congratulations, Leah. We got you another date.
oh man.
Wow, I'm excited.
I can't. You
Yeah.
guys, we've never done it for a necro napper before.
Never.
But I'm really proud of
All
us.
I think in the D&D world, we just ranked up.
We
Oh,
did.
yeah.
That's right. Chastity belt's coming off tonight. Congratulations, you two.
Second date update.
We've got a guy named Chris on the phone for a second date update today. And I've been warned by our producer that I should probably try and speak to him very, very quietly.
Why?
But
Why?
I don't know why. Chris, are you sitting in a bog hunting ducks?
Oh, that's an option.
Or are you in a library? Well, what's going on?
Nah, I'm just a little hungover from last night.
Ah,
dude.
classic
I see.
Be
Chris.
quiet, bro.
Come on, Chris.
What?
Man up, get some bacon.
You didn't know that we were doing the second date update today?
I mean, I just emailed you a little while ago. I didn't really think you'd get back to me so quick.
Okay.
That's true. I mean,
Chris.
we do decide.
I
when
usually
to do
give you a
it.
day or two, though, notice, so...
Well, I guess I just didn't think I was going to get as smashed as I did.
Yeah,
all good. Leave
that's
him
what
alone,
everyone
bro.
says.
We've
Oh,
all
just
been there.
Going for one drink, I swear.
Dude, I'm sure 2 or 3 of us are hungover today, too, so don't worry, dog.
All right, so take a moment, think for a second really hard. Who is the girl that you went out with a few days ago? What's her name?
It's Karen.
Uh-huh. And how'd you meet Karen?
Well, like, this isn't totally a second date update because I actually went on 2 dates with her. So is that still all right?
Oh,
Hmm.
not really.
Yeah,
That's
I think
the
no.
rule.
You guys, it's fine.
Okay.
Third date.
All right, we're going to make an exception for you, Chris.
What?
All
We're
right.
lazy?
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Karen.
So I matched with her on Tinder, and we went out to a bar.
Uh-huh.
Had a good time. I mean, I don't always get, like, wasted, but
Sounds
no.
like it, though, because you went to a bar, like
Yeah.
not even a restaurant.
History isn't proving you wrong.
You're stereotyping yourself, dude.
Wait, were you drunk that night too, just like you were last night?
I was pretty sober when I got there. It was all good.
Pretty sober.
Hey, I give
Oh,
him credit.
Chris.
Pretty sober, still sober.
Good job, Chris.
Thanks.
All right.
So how was the first half before you got wasted?
It was good. I mean, she's a nice girl, and, like, we have a lot of similar tastes and stuff. But then we ended up doing some shots, and
Oh,
Nice.
I don't know how we got there, but I ended up talking about my ex too much, and I know that's, like, not a good move.
Ooh,
No.
Yeah.
no, it's bad. Was she talking about her ex though too? I mean, that's the only thing that can kind of make it okay.
Well, it depends on who your ex is. I mean, if you have like a Kardashian as one of your ex, that could be a good talking point.
Yeah, that doesn't usually work for me.
No?
Oh,
You
You
don't
didn't,
think-
you didn't date Kylie Jenner before?
No.
Oh, well,
No, it
okay.
was
This probably
Chloe.
was a pretty bad conversation then.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about your ex, was it like you're angry with her, you're lamenting her? Where's your emotions on your ex right now?
Well, I mean, I started out and I was kind of angry about it,
Mm.
but then I ended up getting a little sad.
Oh God.
oh.
Then I got angry again, you know, because I was mad that I was getting sad.
Yeah.
Were there any tears
yeah.
being shed?
Not that date.
Oh,
Not that date. Okay.
No, but alcohol does take you through a wide range. If you're feeling a little sad, you're very sad.
I
If you're a little
know,
angry,
but you
you're
don't want to
very
go through all those emotions with someone you're on a first date or a second date with, I guess.
Yeah.
And, like, I definitely should not have done that, and I realized I messed up.
Yeah,
Oh.
totally.
so
Man.
was the second date an improvement or did we somehow go even further downhill?
The second time, it wasn't my fault. I mean, the bar had this really good special going,
Yeah.
and I just sometimes when it comes to drinking, I'm a bargain hunter, you know?
Yeah, I
Dude,
know.
I feel you,
$2
bro.
PBRs,
Oh
man.
my
You can't say
God.
no.
Chris.
It's a buy one shot, get one free. You're not going to say no to a second shot.
Okay, wait, but tell me
Exactly.
you didn't start talking about your ex again.
I did again, and that was when I started crying.
Oh,
God.
you did cry. Oh, no.
Oh.
Real men aren't afraid to shed their tears, Chris. It's okay.
No.
Yeah, no,
not
that is true. But again, not on the second date where you promised that this wouldn't happen
Oh, well,
again.
now there's rules. Real men are allowed to
Yeah.
cry, but not till after the second date.
This is a
Gosh, women
disaster.
are impossible. Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You get drunk and cry twice, and all of a sudden.
Did
Judgy.
Karen stick around or did she just get up and leave?
I don't remember.
Oh my God.
You grayed out for that part?
That is not good.
Yeah.
But she was just going.
I went to the bathroom, came back a while later, and she just wasn't there anymore.
A while later.
What do you
Chris-
think drove her away?
Oh, I don't know.
Hopefully an Uber, because she's pretty drunk, too.
That's not what he meant.
Oh my God, you are a hot mess.
I like him, dude.
Of course you do, because it sounds like you're talking to yourself. That is what it feels like for you.
All right.
So, yeah, I know I messed up, and I definitely shouldn't have cried, but, like, it started out because I was so happy that she's given me another chance, and then, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of morphed with the alcohol into me crying about my ex, and then I'm sitting at a bar realizing I'm crying about two women at the same time.
Wow.
It's all weird.
Why should Karen give you another shot? A third shot?
I mean, I'm a good guy, and she's had a fine time with me. It's just,
Did she though?
I've messed up.
He knows a good drink special when he sees one. There's
Oh
a
my
positive.
God. I just feel like you should just call this one a loss and move forward.
Yeah, see, Brooke wants you to give up on your hopes and dreams immediately.
I'm just saying.
But we
listen.
believe in you, Chris.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, Chris. I mean, if Karen was my girlfriend, I would tell her, dude, no way. Do not go out with this guy again.
It's
Yeah.
a red
Like-
flag.
I mean, to Brooke's point, what should we say to her if we can get her on the phone? Like, how should we try and convince her that you're worth giving another shot to?
Um,
All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So maybe you should go pound like a Red Bull vodka
yeah.
No,
during the break.
Just a Red Bull.
Well,
It'll
we just need
help.
him to perk up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One
And then
shot.
we're going to play a song, come
Oh,
back.
God.
We'll call Karen and try and get you a third date update.
Oh, this is a disaster.
if you guys can get her to go on a date with me again, I promise all of you, I won't get drunk again this time.
Ooh,
Does anyone in this room believe him?
I don't. But
Okay.
I
good
believe
luck.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, Chris.
Moving 92.5. Second date update.
If you're just tuning in for today's second date update, we're on the phone with one of our listeners named Chris. And Chris recently took a girl out on 2 bad dates with a girl named Karen, where both times he got too intoxicated and ended up talking about his ex.
We've all been there.
And crying.
Yeah, he cried on the
Yeah,
second
yeah.
date,
Not
not
the
the first one.
Yeah, right, of course.
Before Karen finally ditched him. So now he's hoping that we can get him one more chance, and the third date will be the charm.
Yeah.
He promises not to drink on the third date.
He didn't say not to drink. He said he wouldn't get drunk.
Oh,
There's
did
a
he?
big difference
Oh,
there.
he
Yeah,
tricked
come
me.
on now.
Chris, buddy, how you feeling right now?
A little better. I'm kind of nervous, so I went ahead and did a little hair of the dog.
Took
No.
a shot?
No,
Yeah, I just need something to level out a little bit.
Chris, alcohol is your enemy right now,
It makes
okay?
you feel
No.
so much better, though, in the hangover.
Oh my God.
It's a
you
good
guys.
thing. You probably don't want to remember this call if it's going to go the way I think it's about to go.
Don't cry, please.
It cannot be worse than his first 2 dates. There's no way.
So, Chris, you're asking us to do something, though, that we don't normally do. You want us to call this woman after you've already been out on 2 unsuccessful dates, but we haven't really heard yet, like, what do you like about this girl so much?
Oh, she seems like a lot more put together than a lot of the women I meet, and she has a really nice laugh, and we had a lot of things in common. But I thought we were having a good time.
Let's hope.
Okay.
I was having a good time.
Yeah, you were.
Good time with all 3 of her.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say that this isn't going to happen, but I
Really?
have been surprised before. So
You got the unblessing.
I
from
guess let's give it a go.
Yeah, I think I'm ready. Let's go ahead and do it.
All right, I'm going to dial the
Okay.
phone number right now. Here we go.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Karen, please?
this is she. Can I help you?
Hey, my name's Young Jeffrey, and I work for the morning radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning.
Like the radio?
Yep, the radio. The real deal. Do you have a moment to talk with us?
About
This is not going to get better, Karen. I'm just going to tell you.
Don't tell her that.
So the reason why we're calling is we do something on our show called a second date update. That's where if you go out with someone and afterwards they're not calling you back, you can reach out to us and we'll try and get a hold of them to figure out the reason why.
okay.
Okay?
Weird, we know.
So we're calling about a guy that you went out with not once, but twice.
Oh, my God. Against your better judgment.
And his name is Chris.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was that?
He
Oh,
just
man.
regained consciousness and he wanted us to call you.
Well, that does not surprise me.
Oh, my God.
Why do you say
Chris
that?
sounds like a hot mess.
He is a hot mess. That is a very accurate description.
Yeah, we know about the dates. He told us that he knows they didn't go perfectly.
That's an understatement. I mean, he's self-aware for sure.
It feels like we know why you're not calling him back.
What did he say?
Well, I mean, he said that you went on a date. He ended up getting a little bit too drunk at the bar and talking about his ex a little bit. And then he...
Why would he ever tell you?
Yeah, he told us. He told us he went from angry to euphoric, and it went through the full range of emotions, and he felt terrible about it.
And then he asked for a second chance, and then he kind of did the same thing on the second date and cried even.
Yeah, he just got so emotional, and it kind of came out of nowhere.
He did say he was crying about two women, not just his ex, but he was also crying in joy because you gave him a second shot, and that really brought him to tears.
Oh. I went out on a second date with him because, I mean, I wasn't even thinking of it as a date. I was more like, I felt so bad for him because obviously he's not taking this breakup well. And so I just wanted to be a buddy and...
Like a therapist to him, like help work through it.
Yeah, he is just such a big mess.
Well, I gotta wait. Hold on, Karen. I gotta say, if you went thinking on the second date that you were going as a buddy and a therapist, it was kind of a crappy move to then ditch him at the end of the night.
Is that what he said? That I ditched him?
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't exactly remember what happened at the end of the night, but he thinks that you walked out.
Yeah, I did not, in fact, just ditch him. I called him an Uber because, I mean, it wasn't safe for him to drive home and crying and drunk.
Of course, yeah.
Also, it just started getting really weird, and why I just was like, okay, I have to shut this down.
Something else was weird about the date, too?
Oh, yeah. So he started talking about his ex, and then he was saying how they really, really loved watching Making of a Murderer, and, that's what... they bonded over. And
the Netflix documentary?
Yeah.
Well, it is a pretty emotional series, so if you do get engrossed in it, it can really bring you to tears.
But I could also see if you're hanging out with a guy you don't know and he's crying over how to make a murder or whatever. I haven't seen it.
It's a documentary.
That it would be kind of like a red flag. There's a difference between viewing and taking it to another extreme.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, I feel like this is something that we need to ask directly to Chris.
Like, what? Are you a murderer?
That's not what the series is about,
She
bro.
doesn't even know.
We have to understand his emotions because Chris has actually been on the other line listening and he wants to talk to you.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Chris, you still awake?
Awake.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, Chris. I didn't know you were on the phone.
Well, that makes me feel better, I guess.
Does it?
What? Dude.
Chris, do you remember crying over what is the show called? Make a Murderer?
Making a Murderer.
False imprisonment really hits hard for me,
He's right. The guy's innocent.
Right.
So
but
wait, do you
moving
remember
on.
crying about it on your date?
Yeah.
I guess so. It's kind of floating back in there,
Well, you can see how that would be a little bit awkward for Karen to have to comfort you through that.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something to
I
Karen
know,
about
seriously,
it?
Chris. You called us to fight for your chance at another shot with this girl, and you're just silent right now.
I didn't know it was going to be now.
When did you?
Chris, look, you need to talk to Karen right now so that we can try and help you to get another date, but you have to do a little bit of the work here.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't yell at me.
I'm sorry.
Chris, overall, I mean, I get why you might be over emotional. I really think you're just not ready to date.
Yeah.
I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and if that's something you can't handle, that's understandable.
I think he's getting drunk.
Chris,
What?
do you think you're ready to date?
Yeah, I'm ready to date, man.
Chris! Are you
Chris,
okay?
are you
Right.
crying?
I've been better.
Guys, I think he's crying.
No, I'm not.
Chris, bud,
Yeah.
are you okay? You getting a little emotional right now?
No.
I think, buddy, that you need to maybe spend some you time, just like Karen's saying. Maybe put down the alcohol for a while and
Go watch
figure
the
out...
second part of Making a
No,
Murder.
that's not what I'm saying.
It'll take some time off. You could sober up, and then you can rethink what we're doing here.
Yeah.
No, I don't think this is like the best time for me to be alone. I mean, Karen's a good listener, and that's the kind of support that I need right now.
Oh,
All
man.
right. Well, Karen, he needs you.
And that's what every woman needs in her life.
Karen, I need you.
I am so sorry, but we just met.
Chris, you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I couldn't tell from the awkward silence.
Yeah, this could be going on forever. I need to get back to my life, and
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we know.
Well, let's put your life on hold for one more second, and let me ask you, would you be willing to go out on another
No.
date with Chris? We'll pay for it.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a joke part?
No.
I'm sorry,
I have to
Karen.
ask at the end of each one of these segments,
See, this is dumb.
would you guys like to go out again?
Karen, would you please say yes?
Oh, my God, Chris.
No. You need to reach out
Huh.
to your real friends.
Chris, I don't think you're begging and crying hard enough.
No,
Yeah, that is
Jeff,
not the
stop it.
issue.
You got to really, really dig into it if you wanted to say yes.
No, that is not the issue.
I mean, I can cry harder if you want.
Well, I think it's worth a shot. I mean, what do you got left to lose?
You guys, seriously, I'm not going out on a date with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's smart.
Well, what did we learn, Chris, today? What did we learn?
Try not to email people until you're ready to get on the radio.
No.
No. Not quite.
I mean, but also yes.
The thing we learned is never pass up a deal on 4-for-1 Long Island iced teas.
Gross.
What bar's that going on at? Let's hang out tonight.
Moving 92.5.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You know, dating is a lot like driving, especially if you're a dude, because you have to learn to pay attention to the signals, right? Like at the end of a date, think of it like you're at an intersection. Okay? If the girl gives you a red light, stop. But oftentimes they'll give you the green light signal to go in for a kiss or something like that. And a lot of dudes are texting and not paying attention, and they don't pick up on the green light, and there's people honking at them like, just go for it. And then before they know it, the light turns to red and they've missed their opportunity to get through the intersection. That happens to a lot of people. Hannah, who is on the phone today for a second date update, thinks that the guy she went out with didn't know how to read her signals correctly and didn't go for a kiss at the end of the night. Hannah, how are you?
I'm okay. Little nervous.
A little,
Yeah.
little nervous? Don't
We
be
don't
nervous.
blame you.
You're fine.
So tell us a little bit about the guy you want to call today. I know you're in your email, you said that you think he wasn't very good at picking up on your signals, but let's first find out about your date. How'd you meet him?
His name's Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I met him at my church's young adult singles group.
I've never been to a singles group for a church. Like, do you all get in a room and you pair up? Do you do speed dating? What happens?
Pair up? What?
I don't know.
At our church, they just have some music playing and there's snacks and hors d'oeuvres, and usually everyone sort of hangs out at first with the people they know, and then casually you sort of start talking to people.
And by the way,
okay.
church singles mixers where you meet the biggest freaks.
No.
Yeah. Dude, I grew up in church camps my whole life. I never got more action than at church camps. It's a great place to meet people who are down to mess around.
God.
So how'd you meet Eric then when you were at the singles mixer?
Well, he's friends with one of my best friends. So he came over and started talking to me, and, I thought he was cute. He's kind of, goofy looking, but I like that. He was sort of funny. It's important to me, too. So we just started talking.
Did he seem nervous when you guys first met?
No, that night he seemed sort of comfortable, maybe because my friend was there, that he knows really well.
Now, you called him goofy looking. Let me ask you a question about yourself.
Oh.
If you were to say between you two, would you say that you're hotter than him?
Oh, I'm definitely the hot one.
Okay. I'm just wondering, because normally girls who say that, they tend to be hot girls who kind of date down because they like a guy's personality, so I'm just wondering if that's you.
Well, I think he's cute, and that's what's really important.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know how many times I get that? Like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, I think he's cute. For me, he's cute.
For me.
Yeah.
That's sweet,
But
though.
I do think he's cute, but I would say that most people would say, he's not traditionally handsome.
Okay, so you guys obviously went out on a date after this thing, right? Or are you just calling about?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you guys do?
We went to go see the Christian church band, and, it was fun. He wasn't as sort of outgoing as he was when I first met him.
Mm-hmm.
He was, I don't know, maybe I would say almost a little bit boring, but a really good listener.
Was there any, drinking involved at all? I don't know how.
No, I mean, I didn't drink anything, and maybe he did before, but since I didn't, I guess he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess what kind of Christian are you? Are you one where alcohol is an absolute sin, or do you have a couple drinks?
Oh, I can have a couple drinks. I just didn't that night.
I didn't know if you guys were loosening up or anything.
Right, no, maybe we should have.
Yeah. Was there a special moment that you guys shared or, something that really stuck out about that evening?
No, he was just a really good listener, and it was nice. It was nice.
So why do you? Okay,
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a rave review about your date so far.
he's not attractive.
Why do you want to call in for a second date update?
Well, because I think that there's potential there. I feel like maybe he's just kind of shy, and so maybe this was like the date where he's super shy, and then he can kind of go back to the guy that I thought was a little more fun that I met with my friend.
Yeah.
I would like to hang out with that guy again.
All right, so you want to hang out with the guy before, but in your email you said that he was not picking up on your signals that you were giving him at the end of the date. What do you mean by that?
What happened was at the end of the night, he walked me to my door and sort of waited, and nothing happened. So then I pretended to drop my keys,
Oh, classic.
Is that your go-to move to let a guy know that you're kind of killing time so he can kiss you?
I don't know, to be honest. I've never had to wait, but so he got them. But I guess he didn't get the clue because he just sort of was holding out my keys. And then I just said, maybe we should hang out again. And he was like, sure. And then he left.
So
did he give you a hug or anything?
Yeah, he hugged me. And then last week, I sent him a text.
You sent him a text?
Yeah, a couple of days later, I said, how's your week going? And then he replied, it's okay. And
that's all he sent you?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did you say anything else after the "it's okay" text? Like you try to hit him back?
Did I?
Yeah.
That's the last thing I heard from him, because then I thought, hey, wait a minute, I'm working too hard here, I want to see him, but...
It sounds like to me like he may be just really unexperienced dating. If you guys were to go out again, would you be okay being the person who made the first move?
No.
Okay.
I just think you may have to with this guy.
I've been in that situation before where it's been at the end of a date and I know deep down that I should kiss somebody and then I don't. And then after that I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go out with her again because now I blew my chance. So, maybe he's feeling like that.
I hope he doesn't think that, because I do like him.
Okay, so when I get him on the phone for the second date update, do you want that to be the first thing that I say to him? Like, hey, man up and make out with Hannah already.
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, get him on the phone, and get your second date update, all right?
Thank you.
Okay, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just joining us for the second part of today's second date update, Hannah is on the phone with us. She wants to call a guy named Eric. They met at church in a young adults mixer, went out to a concert, and then after the concert, there was an awkward moment where he dropped her off, walked her to her door. And she was putting out the signals that she wanted to kiss. Her signal was she dropped her keys in order to kill time in hopes that he would pick them up and then maybe kiss her. Instead, he picked them up and gave them to her and said, here's your keys. Have a good night. And she hasn't heard from him since, so we're about to get him on the phone. Hannah, I think the problem was that your signal to him was a little weak. I think next time, instead of dropping the keys, you just drop the pants. No question there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but there's no question.
Oh, wow.
No? You want to try that out?
Oh my God.
No.
See,
not
I think
good.
I wish women would be a little more blunt like that. And then I would be like, oh, okay, cool. She wants to kiss.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I'm about to dial the phone number and get him on the phone and see what the reason is that he's not calling you back.
Okay, thanks. I'm excited and nervous.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Eric, please?
this is Eric.
Hey, Eric, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show.
Radio? Okay.
All right, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Okay. The reason that I'm calling you, though, is we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. That's where if somebody goes out on a date with someone and then they feel like they're getting blown off after the date, they email us to call that person and ask them why. You recently went out with a girl named Hannah who listens to our show.
Oh.
And Hannah is wondering why you haven't called her or texted her and asked her to go out again.
Okay.
Did you like Hannah?
Yeah, Hannah was fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Do you have a few minutes to tell us why you're not texting her back?
Well, we hung out for about 3 hours at a concert, and I guess I just didn't really know what to say.
Like you didn't know what to say, like it was awkward for you to be on the date, or
Well, for me, she was hard to have a conversation with.
Was she like intimidating or something because she was real pretty?
No. She just said a few things where I said to myself, I was like, I don't think I could see myself having a relationship with this person.
What type of things are we talking?
She just had a lot of her facts wrong.
Her facts about what?
Just like pretty basic stuff.
Can you give me an example?
I mean, for one thing, at one point, she said she thought Islam was a country.
Okay.
All right. That's
fun.
Not a
mistake.
religion, okay.
Yep.
All right.
We also were talking about, like, crazy things that we've eaten at restaurants, and I said, like, well, this is pretty common, but I've had duck.
Yeah.
And she was like, duck. Now, would you consider that a meat or a fish?
Come on.
Really? She said that?
Yeah.
All right. I kind of get what you're saying then. So you don't necessarily feel like she's not as smart as you, but you feel like she might be kind of an airhead a little bit.
Well, it's just like, yeah, I mean, there are different types of intelligence, and I just feel like she lacks a sort of basic factual level
Is there-
of knowledge.
Is there any way that she could have just been playing it up and doing the, because some girls do the bimbo thing because they think guys think it's cute.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell it wasn't like she was planning these things. Like at one point we were talking about something, and she goes, I think comedy is so funny.
Obviously.
Yeah?
It's like, yeah, that's what comedy's job is.
I like that. Eric, you and I are a lot different because that I got out with her, I've been like, perfect. You're right on my level. But
Funny things are funny.
yeah,
You're
comedy is a funny thing sometimes. So you just feel like she wasn't on your level then.
Basically, most of the date, I just was sitting there going like, I don't want to be this guy who just spends the whole time correcting her because it just makes me seem like an arrogant kind of know-it-all. And if I had spent my time correcting her, then our conversation would have gone almost nowhere because I would have had to do it like every minute or so. So I just don't think we ever really need to talk again.
Really? That's a shame because she's actually on the phone and wants to talk to you.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
So, I'm kind of confused. I mean, it sounds like,
Yeah, we know.
that because I wasn't perfect or didn't know all of the same things that you do quite as well, that you are saying that I'm stupid? Is that what I heard?
I did not once say that you are stupid.
No, you didn't actually say those words, but because I'm not stupid, it certainly sounded like you were. saying that I was.
I don't think that you're stupid.
I think you do.
No, I don't. I don't think you're stupid. I think that for the kinds of things that I usually like to talk about and the issues that the things that I was kind of putting out there to see what you would say, it wasn't really working out.
I may not be as smart, in certain areas, but I have street smarts, and I think I'm pretty bright. I mean, okay, for example, I was right. Comedy is funny.
It is.
And tragedies are sad.
She has a point, Eric. She was right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're not wrong about that. But I think that, if you don't get why that's kind of a weird thing to say, then I think that is kind of the issue right
here. It's true.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But also, we don't need to talk about how water is wet,
Maybe we do.
Then, see, if you think that, then that's fine, but I am so not interested in talking about that.
Wow.
I think you're being kind of picky, Eric. I mean, yeah, she gets some facts wrong, and she doesn't really, maybe be book smart, but she sounds like a delightful person.
Can I just point out something? I thought, if you had fun with someone or you enjoyed them, and, if the person was extremely attractive, that was kind of, important, too. And I was willing to I was going to just sort of ignore that part.
See that look?
Whoa.
Eric, do you think that you can ignore her not being on your level intelligence-wise if Hannah ignores the fact that you're not on her level hot-wise? Is what she's saying, I think.
That's a nice balance.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
Oh, my God.
I guess that brings me to my next point then. Would you guys like to go out on a second date? Eric, would you like to go out with Hannah again? I will pay for it. She'll ignore the fact that you're not as good looking as she is.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
Come on,
shocker.
opposites attract.
So you don't even want to go out with me again? I mean, I kind of was being really nice to you still, despite everything you were saying about me. I'm sort of shocked that you don't want to try to make it up to me, You weren't very nice.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but that's the way
okay, so, what do we do now? I see you, at one of the church events, and I see you and I go, hey, there's the guy that thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I guess. And then I'll be like, hey, there's the girl who thinks I'm ugly.
Look at that. It actually is a perfect second date update. It worked out for both you guys. Now we're all on the same page. That is amazing how that actually worked out for them like that. Text in at 78592 says, I'll date her. She's right on my level.
At least people know where they are, right?
It's true. I mean, I guess you can't blame him too much if he just didn't feel like they connected on the intelligence level. I mean, if you go out with somebody you feel like they're not as smart as you, maybe you don't want to go out with them again. Personally, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, I look for that.
Yeah. It's the first thing I look for.
It's hard for Jose to find, though. Someone below his smarts level.
True.
Remember, if you want a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, Brooke and Jubal at moving925.com. We will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone to do a second date update today scored a date with probably one of the hardest people to get a date with.
Ooh.
Really?
One of the hardest professions. They're used to telling guys no all the time. And you always dream about getting a date with them, but it never works out.
Oh, I know what you're talking about
I'm
now.
not talking about your local state senator.
Oh, then
Those
we are
women
not on the same
are
page.
constantly turning dates
Yeah.
down. The male senators, they're easy to get a date with. They just send you random messages on Twitter all the time. You have to turn them down. But the female senators, really tough to get a date with. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a bartender.
Oh, yeah.
It is tough to score a date with a female bartender.
It sure is.
Because they're used to just drunk dudes hitting on them all night long, and somehow he did it. His name is Tom.
Wow.
He's on the phone right now. Tom, I bow down to you. Good job, sir.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Thank you.
Did you actually hit on her inside her own bar?
You know, I did, but not probably in the way that you think. I wasn't gross about it. I didn't want to be gross about it.
Oh, because I thought for sure you just pulled down your pants and said, "You want some of this?"
That doesn't usually work for me.
No. I've gotten kicked out of a few bars doing that, so I'm glad you didn't go that route. So how did you do it? Because I'm sure there's a lot of guys wondering. I know I've tried to hit on a few bartenders and always gotten turned down.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had the fear in me that I was just going to get shot down. So, and I guess this is the embarrassing part. I was like, let's Google how you hit on a bartender. And there's a million articles.
Really? I don't know why that shocks me.
There's so many. And the thing is, it's sort of like pretty commonsensical, which is like, don't treat her like she's a bartender, just treat her like she's a human being. And how do you interact with human beings? You like find commonality and you actually talk to them like a person.
Oh, so just like you're hitting on a regular person.
Yeah.
Weird.
Huh.
You just blew
Interesting.
Jubal's mind.
And you know that sort of idea of like, I'm not hitting on you because you're hot. I'm hitting on you because I think you're interesting. We might have something in common.
Right.
Well, again, now Jubal's out.
I'm so confused.
He's so out. This is never going to work for him.
What's her name, by the way?
Her name is Heather.
Heather, all right. And did you stay there until closing time? How did you?
I absolutely did. I mean, I stayed there as long as I could because I didn't want to like be like, so what's up? You know, when she's trying to do her job.
Right. So you wait till she's done, and then she's walking out to her car, and you're standing by her car.
No.
No, that doesn't quite. No.
I just don't know how you did it.
Yeah, I think you need to give up on guessing.
It was a slow night, you know, which really helped. And I was there with friends, so it wasn't like I was just there by myself.
Good.
And then finally, when it was like we were all leaving and they were starting to put the chairs up, I was like, look, I know you get hit on all the time, and I don't want to be a creep, and I want to keep coming into this bar, and I don't want it to be weird, but I'd love to go out sometime. I'd love to have a drink or have dinner or something. And is that something you'd be interested in? You just sort of like, you know, like put all my cards on the table.
Man, my heart just melted. That's the nicest thing I've ever heard. No wonder she agreed to a date with you.
And she was like, yeah, sure thing.
Cool.
What did you guys do when you went out?
So we just went out to dinner. And we chatted. Like it was really great. Actually, it was very easy. None of it felt like, what am I going to do or what am I going to talk about? It was all just very easy. And that felt great. That's usually not the case when it comes to going on a date. You know, usually I have to invent worlds of interesting things to talk about, and I feel like super, I don't know, self-conscious. And I didn't feel any of that. So it was awesome.
How did you guys end things?
Well, we went back to her place and continued talking, had another drink, and did a little makeout on the couch, like a little, so that was awesome. And actually her roommates came home like sort of in the middle of it, and that was super awkward.
And they're bartenders too, and they all joined in.
This fantasy gets
Oh
better
my
and better.
Jubal.
That would have been great. No, that didn't.
Damn.
But no, that didn't happen. So we just sort of stood up awkwardly. I mean, we were like, there was no clothing off. Like we weren't at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was just sort of uncomfortable, but also kind of funny. But that was a pretty good segue to the end of the evening. She's like, hey, my roommates are home. Like, I should hang out. And I was like, yeah. But then as she walked me out, we kissed again. So I was like, okay. I felt like if we lost any momentum, we sort of got it back in that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's great.
Right,
I mean, it sounds really sweet, to be honest with you.
It felt pretty great, to be honest with you.
So why do you think she's not calling back now?
I have no idea, and it's kind of making me crazy.
Are you showing up to the bar every day and just silently staring at her the whole time?
No, I haven't. I haven't been back to the bar just for other reasons, just because I've been too busy at work. But I also didn't want to like show up and be like, hey.
Creepy.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I didn't want to mess up my relationship to that bar either. And so now I'm worried, like, I don't know how many things I've messed up or if I've messed up anything. Like, she's a super cool person. Like, maybe she's just going out with somebody else.
Okay.
You know, and it could be totally fine. It's the not knowing part. It's really hard.
How long has it been?
It's been a little bit over a week.
Okay.
Right. You sound so normal and nice and respectful.
Oh, thanks, guys.
I feel like there's something that we're not getting.
Like wrong with it?
I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just tuning in for today's second date update, Tom is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Heather. Tom did something that men have been trying to do for a long time. It's an age-old tradition. You saunter into the bar after a long day at work, and you pull up your stool, and you take off your hat, and you say, "Howdy, miss. I'd like 2 fingers of Jack, please.
I feel like we're in a
Why,
saloon.
your gams are looking good today.
Oh, not the gams.
I'm tired. Sure could use a load off. My dogs are barking. Been plowing the fields since 6 o'clock this morning. Speaking of plowing fields, how about you and me go back to my place? Or we just stay here at the bar, either one."
Hey, man,
And that's what happened.
Forward.
In other words, Tom went out on a date with a bartender. He got her number, they went out for dinner, and he says that they had a great time, even ended the night with a makeout session back at her place that was broken up at some point by her roommates coming back and ruining the whole thing. But she kissed him before he left, and then that's the last he heard from her. So we're about to call her right now and find out what went wrong. Tom, ready to go, Chief?
Oh, yeah. Ready to go.
Now, are you concerned that if she says something really awful that you'll never be able to frequent the bar again? Because you like that bar.
I mean, that is definitely a concern, but I'd like to think of her well-being higher than that, but it's definitely a concern.
Okay.
There are lots of other bars out there and lots of other bartenders.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
like your motivational speech,
Yeah.
Jubal. That was good.
Hey, that's it. I'm not telling you you're going to get a second date. Just, hey, there's probably other places that you could go, so don't worry about it. All right, I'm going to call her right now. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is Heather there?
Yeah, this is her.
Hey, Heather, how are you? My name is Jubal. I host the morning show, Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How did you get my number?
A friend of mine gave it to me, actually.
A friend of yours?
A friend of mine. His name is Tom. And you guys recently went out on a date.
Tom gave you my number?
Yeah.
What the Why the hell would Tom give you my number?
Well, we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. So Tom emailed us and told us about your date. And then...
Oh, okay. He told you about our date.
Yes, he did. And then he also said that he's confused why you're not getting back to him because he'd like to see you again.
That's bullshit. I don't understand what the hell he's thinking.
I am confused by your reaction.
I think he didn't want to call you and ask because you've already proven that you don't want to talk to him because he's tried, I guess. Yeah. So he thought maybe we could get you on the phone and be successful.
Oh, he's... okay.
He sounded really nice.
He sounded nice? Yeah, I thought he was nice too until I found out who he really is.
Whoa.
He was acting like a f***ing ass. I mean, I don't know if he told you the whole story.
He said that you guys made out at the end of the night and you even kissed him again to tell him goodbye.
That was the biggest regret of my life. I swear to God, making out with that ass.
Wow. Really? What did he do? Because he sounded nice and he didn't mention anything about being a jerk on your date. Yeah.
Well, obviously, he didn't give you the full story, but this is what actually happened. The night went great. As far as I knew, I was going to hang out with him probably the next day. But a couple days later, I went out with my friend back to that same restaurant that he took me to, which was amazing, by the way.
Wait, hold on. You went back to the same restaurant after going out on a date with Tom?
Right. Okay. So I went and we sat down. This other random server came up to our table, and she looks at me and she goes, "Hey, would you mind having your brother give me a call sometime soon?"
Wait, what brother? Did you?
That's what I said. I don't have a brother. I don't know what she's talking about. I've never been to that restaurant before other than with Tom.
And Tom is not your brother.
Obviously, Tom is not my brother.
Right.
So was she talking about Tom?
I mean, I wasn't sure at the time what she was talking about, but she brings up seeing me a week and some days ago with some guy, my brother, I guess, and she talks about how she met Tom when he went out for a cigarette. Apparently there's a spot in the back where all of the servers take their smoke break, and he was out there having a cigarette, and they started talking. and she said that they had made out, and clearly they had some sort of a connection because she was pretty upset that he hadn't contacted her about it, and he said none of this to me.
So wait, when did they make out though? Like in the back alley while they're smoking, or later
I don't know.
on?
I wasn't there. I couldn't tell you when they made out, but obviously, I don't know this chick from a hole in the wall, and she claims that he was my brother, so clearly there must have been enough going on between them for her to assume that.
That is
I can understand
really
why you think he's kind of a jerk then.
No, he's more than a jerk. He's a f***ing asshole and a pig.
So
the only reason why I didn't sleep with him is because my roommates came home. I was going to call him later, and then I find out when I went to the restaurant again that he actually was cheating on me. Like, what the hell?
Well, I don't know if you can call it cheating because you guys aren't really together.
I mean, I get it. It's low.
Right. Cheating might not be the word, but it's the lowest f***ing blow, and it's a disgusting move, and I would never want to be with a person who claims that it's okay to be with more than one chick in one night.
Oh, man.
I like
Well,
you.
Heather, I mean, every side has two stories. Would you like to hear Tom's side of the story?
No, I actually don't want to hear his side of the story. I actually don't even have time to be talking to you guys right now, but thanks for giving me a ring. Why don't you tell him to never contact me?
Well, how about you tell him? Because he's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
Are you f***ing kidding me right now?
No, I'm not.
So he's been on the line he's heard this entire thing?
Yeah, you can say hi to him if you want.
Let me talk to him.
Tom?
Listen,
Hi.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
you should be sorry. You're a f***ing pig. That's the grossest thing I have ever experienced. And thankfully, I'm all right, but you really need some f***ing help.
Tom hung up.
He did?
Heather,
So he
Heather,
is
Tom,
guilty. I thought for sure.
He knew it was
Tom hung up the phone on us.
Yeah, he's a f***ing p***. Of course he hung up the phone on you.
Oh, my God.
I want to, Heather, I know you said you were busy, but can I try to call him back? I want to
You
talk
can
to
do
him.
whatever you want. I don't care.
I'll let you yell at him.
He's obviously guilty if he hung up.
If
Right?
he wasn't so two-faced, right? So if he didn't paint such a picture of such a nice, I don't know what happened.
I'm going to try to call him back and see if he'll answer.
Oh, my God.
Hey, listen, man. I don't know what else I can say. I don't know what I can say.
Hey,
about
Tom,
this. This
hang
is
on.
all-
Tom, Heather's gone. We let her go. Okay, so she's not going to yell at you. All right?
Were you that scared of her?
It's not that I'm scared of her. It's that I just feel like a complete creepazoid. What do I say to her?
Is what she said true?
Yeah, it's true.
What, dude?
What the hell,
So what
Tom?
did-
Why would you call us and not know what was going on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I went out for a cigarette break, and I don't know. I didn't think that date one was like we're exclusive. I don't know. It was stupid. It was really dumb. Like,
And you told the waitress that she was your sister?
yeah.
Oh,
man.
Tom.
I just didn't. I mean, honestly, I didn't know she'd ever find out about it. It was dumb. Like,
Tom, what about the makeout thing that she was talking about? Did you do that while you were out on the date?
Yeah.
did I make out with the girl while I was out on the date?
Yeah, like in the alley.
Yeah, I did. We actually did a little bit more than make out.
I'm right here, Tom. Are you kidding me right now? This is unbelievable.
Man, you guys said that she was not on the phone.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
God, we
I lied.
It's a lot of liars.
Heather, we weren't exclusive. I wasn't planning on it happening.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
so
I don't
sorry.
care. I don't care if we were exclusive or not, but it's called human decency to not sleep with two women within 2 hours from each other. That's all I'm saying.
And how the hell did you get that done in 5 minutes in an alleyway?
That's a long time. You're right. That's a long time.
I mean, just so everyone knows, we didn't go all the way. We just fooled around and some stuff happened.
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't have sex. Yeah, everyone standing ovation for the one who didn't have sex in the back alleyway of a restaurant. Like, really big of you, Tom. Like, really big of you.
I'm sorry. Heather, I'm really sorry. I had this night where I was on fire. I was in the zone. There was
You
something
were on fire? What the hell are you talking about? This isn't a basketball game where you're shooting 3-pointers or something. No, this is you on a date with me, and you it up. I don't care if you were in the zone. I don't care if you just slam dunked but you need to respect me. You need to seriously see me as a person that's worth your time, and you didn't. You disgust me.
Oh!
I gotta agree with her on this one.
Like, Tom, how could you go sit back down at a table after making out with some random chick in an alleyway and then have the gall to go back to Heather's house?
Oh, man.
Look, I made a mistake, and I got caught up in the moment. It won't happen again. I don't think I'm going to be in this kind of situation again.
Yeah,
and
you won't be in this kind of situation again because I'm never going to go on a date with you again. Do you understand that? Like, it's unbelievable that you even did that in the first place. You will not get another chance to do it again.
Listen, I hear you. I know what you're saying, Heather. You don't want to go out again. I want another chance to show you that I can do this, that I can be a
Do what? Do what? Don't the waitress on our next date? Is that your plan? Like,
You know what? It's
is-
baby steps, when dating. You got to start small and teach guys not to do that, Heather, would you be willing to go on a second date with Tom? We'll pay for it.
Would you please go out with me and let me prove that I can show you that I can...
You will not finish your sentence because I'm going to let you know exactly how I feel about you right now. You are a bag of You disgust me. I actually considered sleeping with women after you. You made me so disgusted with men. And you made me embarrassed to go out on a date with a person that I normally would never go on a date on. So grow a f***ing pair of balls and do not talk to me ever again.
Heather, does that mean that you won't date any of your customers anymore either?
Obviously, I've learned my lesson, and I'm never dating another customer ever again.
Great. Thanks a lot, Tom. You've ruined it for everybody. Damn it.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
A text in at 78592 says, I can see if it was a different night because they weren't exclusive, but during the date, with like tons of exclamation points and question marks, talking about today's second date update. If you missed it, Tom wanted to call a girl named Heather. She wasn't calling him back after they went on a date. She was a bartender where he liked to go. He ended up asking her out, and they went out and had a decent date. But after the date, she wasn't calling him back. Why? Because she really liked the restaurant that he took her to. So she went back on another day with a friend of hers. And while she was there, the server came over and was like, hey, can you tell your brother to call me? Because he hasn't called me. She's like, what are you talking about? And she was like, oh, the guy you were in here with, your brother. She's like, well, it wasn't my brother. It was the guy I was dating. She's like, oh, well, because that day he said he was your brother. We went out back and messed around while I was on a smoke break and he went out for a cigarette.
savage.
So he actually hooked up with another girl during the date, during dinner.
Wow.
On the date. Some dudes out there are like, "We's my hero."
So gross, man.
That's a lot of work. That is way too much work.
He didn't pull it off. He got
he didn't.
caught
He got
and
caught,
called out on the radio. Didn't pull it off at all. Although it does sound like the waitress still wanted a night with him. So
I think he's good. I think he'll just move on to the waitress and be able to get it there. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back. Just if you hooked up with somebody else during your date, probably know you got caught, and don't bother sending us an email on that one.
Moving 92.5. Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Every once in a while, we get an email into the show that's like, dude, you got to call my friend right now because they're in a weird situation. We just got one of those from a guy named Brent. He emailed us and said we had to call his good friend Derek immediately because he has a second date update. Derek, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I'm not going to tell everybody your issue that Brent said in the email, but what is your issue right now?
Gosh, where do I start with this? I'm sitting here at this girl's apartment. I went on a date with her last night, and everything went great. She's really cool, and I ended up spending the night, but I'm kind of stuck here right now because she left early this morning. I think she went to work, and she told me to hang around and to wait for a package or something. So there's a really important package. Please hang around. And so I've been waiting, but it's been I'm like almost 4 hours now. And
Derek, why don't you just...
I'm sitting here in this apartment just kind of like I already took out the trash.
You're just hanging out in her apartment waiting for a package. Why don't you leave? You don't know her that well.
No, well, she was really adamant about this. It was important, and I told her I'd do it. And I only met this girl last night. I met her online. It was our first date last night, and like I don't want to blow it. You know, she's a cool girl.
So there's no other weird things that are. I mean, I'm just worried a little bit
Have
about you.
Yeah, have you had a chance to go through all her stuff yet? Check out like her medicine cabinets.
Well, he's got 4 hours to kill, dude.
Yeah, I had to get the lay of the land. You know what I mean? So, and 4 hours. I've been looking around. She's kind of messy. I will say that. But I've been cleaning up.
So have you tried to call her and be like, hey, no package yet. It's been 4 hours.
Yeah, I've called her, texted her, left her voicemail after voicemail. Like, I may have to bait here pretty soon because I was supposed to be at work 2 hours ago.
Derek, I'm not sure who's more strange, you or the girl who asked you to stay.
I'll let you be the judge on that one, but I'm feeling pretty stupid right now, not gonna lie.
I mean, I feel like that's something you ask of your boyfriend, not of somebody that you just met.
Well,
Like, if she could have just been a little bit more specific with the time, but she made it seem like it was gonna be right, like you'll be here any minute.
Derek,
I think that's the last thing she said.
Your buddy emailed us and said we had to call you right away. What do you want our help with? Do you want just our advice on what to do in this situation? I would just leave if I were you.
Okay. I've had that thought probably every 10 minutes for the last 3 hours. But she's a really cool girl, and I got to make a first impression. I got to show her that, like, look how responsible I was. You asked me to do something, I got it done. I took care of it. And so if it was a big deal, which she made it seem like I don't want to screw up something, you know what I mean?
Wait. What makes her so cool?
She's probably just really hot.
Yeah, let's get real. Let's spend the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that was to the point.
If he's waited 4 hours for a package for her, she's definitely hot. So, hey, all right, can we try to call her then?
Oh, please. I've called probably 10 times. Good luck.
She hasn't answered the phone for you.
No.
Okay. All right, we're going to try to call her. We're going to play a song, come back, call her, and then I guess you can call it a second date update. I don't know.
We're still in the middle of the first date, I think.
All right, we're going to call her after this. Hang on, man.
All right, cool.
I want to be moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, Derek, if this girl that you hooked up with last night isn't answering any of your calls, why do you think she's going to pick up the phone when we call?
I'm kind of hoping maybe it's from a different number or.
Okay. It's Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. It's the second part of the second date update. It's kind of strange. This one. Yeah. A guy emailed us and said we had to call his friend Derek right away. So we called Derek. We found out that Derek is in a girl's apartment who we hooked up with last night. He's been there for 4 hours waiting for a package because she said, I need you to be there when this package, please. It's very important. Just wait here. He's been trying to get a hold of her because he's like, you said you were late for work, right?
Yeah, I was supposed to be at work 2 hours ago.
Okay. I told Derek to leave, but he still doesn't want to leave. He wants to like show her that he's a responsible guy and he can help her out.
Don't you think you look kind of pathetic just staying there?
I think 4 hours is the threshold. After 4 hours, it's pathetic.
It's been nice guy.
The longer you stay, the more pathetic it gets. All right. Well, we're going to call her. We're not going to tell her that you're on the phone, okay?
Okay, good.
So just hang out.
This is weird.
Yeah, this is super weird.
Hey, is this Alyssa?
Yes, it is.
Alyssa, how are you? I work in the apartment complex that you live in, and we understand you have a squatter in your apartment. Would you like to talk about that?
Wait, I don't understand what?
This is actually Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning on Moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I have a buddy named Derek, and you've kidnapped him. And I want him back.
Wait,
You know what I mean by that?
Derek, like from last night? You know him?
Yes, Derek from last night.
Okay, so why are you calling?
I'm calling because Derek is in your apartment right now, and he's been waiting for a package for 4 hours, and he's been trying to get a hold of you to ask, like, hey, is this package going to arrive anytime soon, or can I just go? And you haven't been answering the phone, so Derek asked me to call you.
Yeah, he said he'd wait for my package to arrive, so.
Right. But you can see how that's kind of strange, right? Like, you just met him last night.
I mean, he just seemed like such a nice guy. I thought, he wouldn't mind. Like, we had a good time.
Okay. Have you gotten his text messages and phone calls, though?
I saw a text, but I've been in some meetings and stuff, so I guess I didn't really notice.
You realize he's been at your house for 4 hours, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know how delivery things go. You never really know when they're going to show up, so.
I feel like she's using him.
Yeah, you're just using the dude to wait around your house for a package.
No, I mean, we just talked, and he didn't seem to mind at all. So, I'll get back to him in a little bit.
Do you feel bad that he himself has his own job to go to and that you might be making him late?
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really seem to be too concerned when I asked him. I mean, he didn't really say that was going to be a problem or anything.
What are you talking about? You made it seem like the package was going to be here. That, like you said, it was going to just any minute now.
Hey, Alyssa, that's Derek on the phone.
Hey.
He's been on the other line.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Hey, Alyssa. I've been at your place for like 4 hours. Like, I had to go a while ago. I'm calling you. Like, how did they get a hold of you? What's going on?
Well,
you kind of could have given me a heads up. Hey, my package is going to be 4 hours. Can you wait?
Well,
that
I didn't
long?
know. I've been tracking it online this morning to see, and then, once I got there, I would just call and check in. I just really need your help when that package gets there.
What's in the package, Alyssa? I'm curious. Like, what's so important that you're going to make this random dude hang out at your place forever and wait for it?
And miss work.
And you're not even really apologizing.
Well, it's this new dresser. And so, because I'm horrible at building these things. So I just want to make sure that it all gets in there and built right. So
Wait, who's going to build it?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I need Derek to help me.
You're making me wait here to build you a dresser?
I'm not making you do anything. Like, you said you'd help me. Like, I thought you were so nice and you would just help.
Is that okay?
Oh my God.
Alyssa, is that true? Like, is this one of those things that shows up and is put together by the deliveryman, or were you hoping that Derek would put it together for you?
I think it has some, assembly that needs to happen, so.
So you were hoping that Derek would put together your dresser?
Well, yeah.
Oh, Alyssa, are you interested in Derek at all romantically?
Are you more interested in not having to put together a dresser yourself and having a guy that you hooked up with last night do it for you?
Well, no. I mean, I really had a good time with Derek, so I just thought it was, convenient that he could stay too. Like, it just all worked out great.
That's like a well thought out plan, but that sucks for me. I could have came over another time when I didn't have to work and helped you with the dresser. You could have just told me that. You didn't have to tell me, hey, there's going to be a package here any minute. Please, it's important. And then run out the door.
Well, I mean, it is important because if someone's not there, they won't drop it off.
Okay, yeah, right. Alyssa.
You could have just asked. You could have just told me what was going on. I'll help you with the dresser. That's no problem. Maybe give me the tracking number. Maybe I could track the package and find out. Maybe I can come back and meet him or something. So I don't have to sit around here and wait all day.
Derek, she tried to trick you into putting together a dresser. Don't be willing to do it anymore.
Too nice, man.
Kind of sound like a dumbass at this point.
Or like a pushover.
Well, no, I think he sounds like a nice guy that he'd help me.
Of course you do.
But Alyssa, are you really attracted to a guy who's going to wait around 4 hours to put together a dresser for you, no questions asked?
I think it's great that he'd be happy to do it. I think that's really sweet.
I'm happy to do it. You just need to kind of give me the heads up, give me the info. I have to go to work, and I'll do it for you. Do you have tools? Do I need to bring over tools or whatever? But
he's gonna do
Derek,
it.
you're a nice guy, but are you worried that you're gonna get taken advantage of? If this is your first date, what happens down the line?
Well, obviously we need to work on our communication.
Obviously.
Or you need to learn to not get used. She's using you, Derek.
Derek.
He's
All right.
falling for it.
Well, Derek, it sounds like you're going to put together the dresser.
And
I will pay for lunch for you if you want to take a break from putting together the dresser and have lunch with Alyssa when she gets back.
Well, I still need to figure out when it's coming. So,
God.
yeah, we'll make a good time out of it. Maybe order some food and just put together a freaking dresser.
Gosh, Alyssa, man. You must be smoking hot.
Yeah, a dresser date?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I think that sounds great.
Yeah, I bet you do. All right, well, I'm glad this worked out for you two.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning. All right.